What if your understanding of growing older is fundamentally flawed? Imagine the joint discomfort, persistent tiredness, and weakening vitality, often brushed aside by physicians as inevitable aspects of aging, are in fact largely avoidable. At 91 years of age, I live without any prescription drugs, cherish my self-sufficiency, and possess the physiological health indicators of an individual 30 years my junior. Just 2 years prior, my physician was taken aback during my yearly physical. My laboratory results presented the wellness profile of someone in their late 50s. When he inquired about my methods, I shared the 5 straightforward daily rituals I've adhered to with discipline for many years. These are not intricate medical procedures or high-cost therapies. They are simple routines aligned with your body's inherent cycles, and any person can begin adopting them as early as tomorrow. While acquaintances much younger than myself contend with multiple daily prescriptions and require help for routine activities, I continue to enjoy a full and autonomous life. The most surprising element: the third practice requires merely 3 minutes each morning. Astonishingly, 88% of older adults completely overlook it. This single omission denies them the paramount chance to safeguard their cognitive sharpness and mental acuity. The detriment isn't immediately apparent, which is precisely why numerous individuals disregard it until intervention is too late. These 5 practices are not solely about enhanced well-being, they are about preserving your autonomy, upholding your dignity, and guaranteeing your later years are characterized by vigor instead of deterioration. The distinction between aging with grace and enduring daily struggles frequently hinges on your actions within the initial hour of your day. Foundational fluid replenishment, the cornerstone of cellular vitality. Each night, as you rest, your body expels roughly 0.8 liters of water via normal breathing and sweat. Nevertheless, a majority of seniors awaken and opt for coffee, tea, or similar drinks that actually intensify their dehydration. This apparently harmless decision triggers a chain reaction of issues impacting everything from joint suppleness to cognitive processing. And it's entirely avoidable with an elementary 4-5 second dawn ritual. The link between early day dehydration and hastened aging is substantial and well supported by science. Investigators at Stanford Healthcare found that even slight dehydration diminishes cognitive capacity by 22% and elevates inflammatory signals by 26% in adults over 60. This extends beyond mere thirst. It concerns your body's core capacity to operate at its best. Commencing your day in a dehydrated condition means you are essentially impeding every bodily system from the moment you arise. Take Evelyn, a 79-year-old woman who endured persistent daily headaches and lightheadedness for an extended period. Her medical team suggested various interventions and medicines, yet none offered lasting respite. The turning point occurred when she realized chronic early-day dehydration was the fundamental source of her ailments. Within several weeks of adopting correct morning hydration, her headache has vanished, her vitality surged, and her overall life quality improved significantly. The physiological repercussions of morning dehydration go well past basic discomfort. When dehydrated, the lubricating fluid in your joints becomes denser, heightening friction and deterioration with each motion. This directly contributes to the morning ache that many older individuals resign themselves to. Concurrently, your brain cells demand adequate hydration to sustain electrical signaling and effectively clear metabolic byproducts accumulated during sleep. Lacking sufficient morning fluid intake, these harmful residues linger in brain tissue, fostering the mental haziness that affects many people's mornings and possibly speeding up long-term cognitive deterioration. The remedy is astonishingly simple, yet the timing and technique are vital for optimal results. Before retiring each evening, get ready a 450 ml glass of lukewarm water with a tiny dash of natural mineral salts. Position it on your bedside table to be the initial thing you see upon waking. Consume this entire glass instantly upon awakening, prior to coffee, tea, or any food. The lukewarm temperature is key as your body can assimilate it more readily than cold water. And the minute quantity of mineral salts aids cellular uptake via a mechanism known as osmotic equilibrium. This isn't about just increasing water intake throughout the day, although that is certainly helpful. The distinct benefit arises from rectifying your overnight dehydration immediately, before introducing other substances that could hinder fluid balance. For individuals who find plain water unappealing first thing, a small bit of fresh lime juice is permissible, but steer clear of any sugars or additives that might provoke insulin spikes and disrupt your morning metabolic state. The outcomes of this practice are both prompt and build over time. In a few days, most individuals observe diminished joint ache and enhanced mental focus within weeks. The advantages frequently encompass improved digestion, more consistent energy, and even better skin suppleness as the body's hydration levels normalize. I have steadfastly followed this ritual for nearly 22 years, and it revolutionized my mornings when I began at age 72. Your cells are currently lacking water. Do not let another morning go by without providing what they urgently require. Natural light synchronization, aligning your internal rhythm. Your body houses a sophisticated biological timing mechanism that regulates everything from hormone secretion to immune defense, and it can be thoroughly thrown off by neglecting one vital morning opportunity. The National Sleep Foundation has verified that merely 10 to 12 minutes of morning sunlight exposure recalibrates circadian patterns and elevates serotonin levels by 38% in older individuals. Conversely, a Cambridge University report indicated that foregoing this essential morning sunlight exposure heightens depression likelihood by 65% and unsettles sleep rhythms within mere days. The science underlying this is both compelling and applicable. Early morning sunlight carries particular light frequencies that activate specialized cells in your retina, known as photosensitive retinal ganglion cells. These cells then transmit messages to your brain's primary clock in the hypothalamus, initiating numerous biological functions. This precisely timed light affects hormone balance, body temperature control, digestive enzyme activity, and over 140 other physiological processes that shape how you feel and operate daily. Richard, a 75-year-old man, had battled sleep difficulties and relied on medication for years. His approach seemed logical: daily walks for activity and fresh air, yet he took these walks in the late afternoon, entirely oblivious that morning light has fundamentally distinct biological impacts compared to light encountered later. When he moved his walks to the early hours, within 45 minutes of waking, he managed to discontinue his sleep aids completely. His change highlights how timing can be more crucial than the activity itself. Lacking adequate morning light, your brain keeps producing melatonin for too long, fostering a detrimental pattern of insufficient sleep, heightened inflammation, and quicker aging. This imbalance affects much more than your nighttime rest. Your circadian cycle influences blood pressure management, immune system strength, and even your body's efficiency in processing nutrients. Studies from the Salk Institute have shown that seniors with irregular circadian cycles exhibit notably faster rates of muscle deterioration and cognitive impairment compared to those with stable daily patterns. Implementing this practice is direct but demands regularity and correct method. Go outdoors within 45 minutes of waking and spend 10 to 12 minutes in natural morning light, even on overcast days. The crucial detail many overlook is to forego wearing eyeglasses, sunglasses, or contact lenses during this time if feasible, as these materials can filter some specific light frequencies essential for circadian adjustment. The light must pass through your eyes to be effective. Skin contact alone will not reset your internal rhythm. If severe weather absolutely bars outdoor time, sitting by a window offers some advantage, though it's approximately 40% less potent than direct outside light. For those in far northern latitudes with scarce winter sunlight, a specialized light therapy device designed for circadian support can be a useful alternative, though natural light is always preferred when accessible. The benefits of this ritual accumulate, fostering increasingly stable sleep-wake patterns that buttress every facet of your health. Within a week of consistent morning light, most seniors note falling asleep more readily and waking feeling more revitalized. Within a month, many find improvements in mood, vitality, and digestive consistency as their internal systems stabilize. Your body's inherent timer awaits tomorrow morning's light signal. Ensure you don't miss this vital chance again. The 3-minute mental ignition practice is safeguarding your cognitive vitality. Each morning, your brain risks losing roughly 25,000 neural pathways unless you take targeted steps to counter this decline. This is not hyperbole or a fear-mongering statement. It's rooted in robust neurological studies on brain adaptability in aging individuals. The striking insight is that an elementary 3-minute morning exercise can not only halt this attrition but also potentially reverse it. Yet 88% of older adults entirely bypass this chance, neglecting the single most vital period for cognitive upkeep. Neurobiologists at the California Institute of Technology have found that cognitive activation exercises done right after waking boost neuroadaptability by 32% and enhance executive capabilities throughout the day. The initial morning period presents an unparalleled and vital opportunity for brain engagement because your neural circuits are at their most receptive as you shift from sleep to alertness. This heightened receptivity is due to increased levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, often dubbed nourishment for brain cells, which peaks soon after waking and wanes as the day progresses. Martha, an 83-year-old woman, exemplified this principle's effectiveness during her recovery from knee replacement. While her physical rehabilitation was delayed, she diligently continued her morning mental exercises, despite being in a high-risk phase for cognitive decline, often linked with major surgery and reduced mobility in seniors. Her mental faculties remained keen and even showed improvement. Her story illustrates that mental workouts can preserve brain health even through physically taxing times. The consequence of omitting morning brain engagement is a build-up of deficit that quickens cognitive deterioration and elevates dementia likelihood by 25%. As per long-term research from the Global Council on Brain Health, each morning is a pivotal moment to activate your brain's adaptive mechanisms, either constructively through mindful engagement or detrimentally through passive states that don't encourage neural development. The subtle nature of this decline is why so many seniors overlook this practice until cognitive shifts become obvious, by which time considerable neural connections are already compromised. The answer is the 3-for-3 morning boost. Address one straightforward numerical challenge, recollect one specific detailed event, acquire 3 new vocabulary items, and mentally map out your day, all achieved within a total of 3 minutes. This specific blend concurrently stimulates various brain areas, fostering what neurobiologists term network integration, which bolsters overall cognitive fortitude. The numerical task engages your logical thought processes. Event recall fortifies memory circuits vital for data retention. Vocabulary acquisition enriches language regions. And envisioning your day activates planning and executive control centers in your brain's frontal lobe. The concise 3-minute duration is based on findings that short, focused mental effort is more beneficial than prolonged, disengaged activities. For effective implementation, arrange your resources the previous evening. This could involve a numerical puzzle from a book or application, a memory cue like describe your 25th birthday celebration in detail, 3 new words with their meanings, and a brief visualization where you mentally review your day's agenda. The cognitive safeguarding this practice offers is both instant and accrues over time. Within hours, users often feel enhanced mental lucidity and quicker decision-making. Within weeks, consistent practitioners typically report improved word retrieval and greater self-assurance in their mental skills. Within months, the routine cultivates quantifiable enhancements in cognitive capacity, the brain's ability to adapt to age-related shifts or minor impairments. I've made this a habit since age 68 and largely attribute my sustained mental sharpness at 91 to it. Your brain's neural pathways strengthen or weaken with each morning's decisions. Ensure you are reinforcing them tomorrow. Gentle awakening movements, activity that supports rather than strains. Most older adults unknowingly undermine their self by adhering to outmoded morning exercise suggestions that actually worsen joint deterioration in individuals over 65. Conventional stretching practices were formulated for younger physiques and can be actively detrimental to mature joints and tissues. Research from the Cleveland Institute reveals a significant disparity. Performing inappropriate morning movements elevates inflammation by 26%, whereas a targeted 6-minute mobility routine lessens discomfort and rigidity by 40% within just 3 weeks. This stark contrast arises because mature connective tissue demands a fundamentally distinct approach to activity, one that respects its altered biological state. After age 65, collagen structures become less supple and more interlinked, meaning they require gentle, incremental warming instead of the forceful stretching frequently advocated in fitness media aimed at a younger demographic. The common advice to stretch it out can in fact cause micro-trauma in older individuals, hastening the very joint issues you aim to avoid. Theodore, an 82-year-old man, offers a compelling illustration of this. He had been consistently following a stretching regimen from his younger years, unaware it was worsening his mobility issues and increasing his reliance on a walking aid. Upon substituting his detrimental morning practice with the gentle sequence I will outline, he managed to reduce his dependence on the aid and recover functional autonomy. His experience demonstrates how appropriate movements can renew function while ill-suited ones hasten decline. Typical morning stretches like deep toe reaches and quick neck flexions cause considerable micro-trauma in older adults. Profound forward flexions exert undue strain on spinal discs that have already lost suppleness with age, while swift neck motions can affect blood supply through vertebral channels often narrowed in seniors. Even apparently mild movements like seated twists can create harmful shearing pressures on spinal joints if done immediately upon waking, before tissues are adequately prepared. The solution is the core to periphery flow, soft shoulder circles, seated leg lifts, doorway chest openers, assisted shallow bends, and foot rotations, all performed before eating. This sequence adheres to a sound physiological order that first elevates core body warmth and circulation to major muscle groups before addressing joint flexibility. The order is vital as it respects how mature bodies need to warm up slowly and methodically. Start with seated shoulder circles, arms relaxed, making small, gradually expanding circles for 45 seconds. This promotes upper body circulation without overstressing shoulder joints. Proceed to seated leg lifts, alternating raising your knees while on a stable chair for 75 seconds to engage core support and boost lower body circulation. Transition to doorway chest opener. Stand in a doorway, hands at shoulder level on the frame, and gently lean in for 45 seconds to counter the forward stoop many seniors acquire. Continue with assisted shallow bends, holding a countertop or robust chair, bending knees only as far as is comfortable for 75 seconds. This engages the body's largest muscles and safely stimulates metabolic processes. Conclude with seated foot rotations, extending one leg and circling your foot inward and outward for 45 seconds per foot to enhance lower limb circulation and ankle flexibility, crucial for preventing falls. Your joint condition is significantly influenced by how you move in the initial half hour after waking. Most seniors report immediate relief from morning rigidity within the first few days of this sequence. Within 3 weeks, cumulative benefits typically include better posture, less discomfort with daily tasks, and greater confidence in movement. After a month of regular practice, many note substantial functional gains in activities that previously caused trouble, such as entering and exiting vehicles or reaching for items. This mobility flow has been central to my physical self-sufficiency since my late 80s, enabling me to manage household tasks many peers relinquished years ago. Muscle-fortifying breakfast plan. Powering muscle upkeep. The breakfast you have tomorrow will either help maintain your muscle tissue or hasten its decline by 20%, irrespective of your total protein intake for the remainder of the day. This insight from studies in the Journal of Nutritional Science questions standard dietary advice that prioritizes total daily intake over strategic consumption times. The reality is, for adults over 65, when you consume protein is just as critical as how much you consume. Nutritional scientists at the Pennington Biomedical Research Center have shown that protein timing, not merely quantity, dictates whether older adults preserve muscle or face accelerated muscle wasting sarcopenia. After age 60, your body develops what is termed anabolic attenuation, meaning you require both a greater amount of protein and more strategically timed intake to foster muscle preservation. Most seniors consume their largest protein serving at their evening meal, when the body's muscle building capacity is waning, while having a carbohydrate-rich breakfast when protein utilization potential is at its highest. Beatrice, an 88-year-old woman, is a striking case of this principle. She had endured 3 years of diminishing strength and growing weakness despite what she thought was a nutritious diet. Her breakfast typically consisted of cereal, fruit, and tea, a common pattern offering minimal support for aging muscles. Within several months of adopting correct protein timing, she reversed her strength loss and regained functional abilities she believed were gone. The usual senior breakfast often leads to undesirable blood sugar swings that heighten inflammation, accelerate muscle deterioration, and can impair cognitive clarity for the entire day. Beginning your day with predominantly carbohydrate foods initiates an insulin surge that actually hinders your body's fat-burning capability for several hours. More importantly, it fails to deliver the crucial amino acids needed when your muscle cells are most responsive to growth signals. For seniors, this overlooked chance is especially detrimental because the muscle building window, the period when muscles are most receptive to protein, narrows with each passing decade. Your body becomes increasingly particular about when it will utilize protein, making the morning period absolutely essential for muscle health. Overlooking this window doesn't just mean you aren't building muscle, it signifies you are actively losing it more rapidly. The strategy is to ingest at least 20 to 35 of high-quality protein within 45 minutes of finishing your gentle awakening movements, focusing on items like eggs, kefir, or a protein-enhanced beverage with added hydrolyzed collagen. This particular quantity is derived from research indicating seniors need around 30 kg of superior protein in one meal to counteract age-related anabolic attenuation and promote muscle protein development. Distributing smaller quantities throughout the day is notably less effective than this concentrated morning intake. The timing post-movement is deliberate and scientifically supported. Mild physical activity enhances blood flow to muscles, priming them to utilize protein more effectively. Practically, this could be 3 eggs with a side of plain yogurt, kefir blended with protein powder, or a beverage with whey or pea protein plus hydrolyzed collagen, which supplies specific amino acids beneficial for joint and skin integrity. It's important to avoid pairing this protein with high-sugar carbohydrates like pastries or very sweet fruits, which can diminish the muscle-preserving benefits. Your body's muscle-building window reopens fresh each morning. Don't let tomorrow's opportunity for cellular renewal and muscle upkeep pass by. The effects of adopting this protein timing plan are both quick and cumulative. Within days, many seniors experience more consistent energy throughout the morning and improved hunger management. Within weeks, most observe enhancements in physical strength and less tires during daily tasks. After 3 to 4 months, studies suggest measurable preservation, or even gains, in lean muscle compared to ongoing declines in those sticking to traditional breakfast habits. I've adhered to this protein timing plan rigorously since my early 80s and attribute a significant part of my enduring functional strength to it, far exceeding what most of my contemporaries experience. Your blueprint for thriving in later life. These 5 daily rituals are not complex health enigmas or costly treatments. They are straightforward biological attunements that respect your body's inherent rhythms and cooperate with, rather than oppose, the aging journey. I have preserved my autonomy at 91, not through exceptional measures, but through commonplace practices performed with unwavering consistency. Your body possesses the same extraordinary capacity for vitality at any age when you provide the correct nourishment and signals at the appropriate times. The morning period offers your prime window for biological enhancement, charting the course for your entire day and ultimately the richness of your aging experience. Each dawn presents a renewed opportunity to either bolster your body's natural restorative processes or to unintentionally hinder them. The decisions you make tomorrow morning will either foster your long-term vigor or contribute to the steady decline that far too many individuals resign themselves to. The efficacy of these practices stems not from their intricacy but from their regularity. Minor, science-backed actions performed consistently yield profound transformations over time. The divide between aging with grace and autonomy and enduring years of decline often boils down to these vital initial moments of each day. Your future well-being is reliant on the choices you embrace tomorrow morning. Which of these practices will you adopt first? Your path to thriving in later life commences with your very next sunrise.